Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we've got the 10th anniversary special edition Battlefield Part 1 out today. So we're going to jump in and go ahead and do the full clear for this here today. Now I'm just going to keep my teams, the setup that I already have, and see how we get on. Now usually we have the thing where the last boss is the same as the first boss in terms of typing, but whilst I don't expect this to be super difficult because we're not fighting like a joke character right at the start, I'm not going to use I normally do the first team as like the low class warrior team, but since I do also have a spare team for the end anyway, because I'll have my super tech team and I have my heroes team, we'll go ahead and use extreme tech here. So we're starting off against Birdcoo, who of course normally would be tech, but is AGL here. It's always good having the androids on this team, because the Ghost Usher against one enemy is obviously super useful. But yeah, then bringing back the one stone hidden potential change thing soon is definitely very cool. Okay, well. Okay, well, even though it was at Carnival LR Super Saiyan Goku, it's got one shot by LR Prime Battle Cell. So probably could have just done it with the low class warrior team. This is the thing though, I said it when we were talking about when this event was shown in the data download, and I did the video about the data download the other day, is these special edition battlefields for like the anniversary and for the worldwide celebration and stuff like that, they are normally made with a lower difficulty because, you know, for the anniversary, especially something like the 10th anniversary, big hype, a lot of like returning players will be coming back for the anniversary, a lot of new people will start the game for the anniversary, so they usually make these like special edition ones not like super hard, right? Because then all the people who are new or who are coming back and don't have all the newer units and stuff like that won't find it as difficult. It's just a nice little, especially as part of like the countdown celebration, it's just a little bit of like extra content to get you extra stones ready for summoning on the main event banners. So but yeah, LR Turles army with 21 million attack, and then yeah, they just take him out without a crit. Mono teams I think is still the most straightforward way to do Battlefield without having to worry about making a whole load of different like category teams, which of course you can do as long as you can remember like all the setup and everything, because obviously so many characters are on, well, all the characters really are on so many categories, and if you use the wrong one in like an earlier fight and then can't fill out the team for one of the later fights, it'd obviously be really annoying. So I still think the best way of doing Battlefield has always been physical monotypes, but then within the typing you make like a category, right? So like Bootanks leads Margin Power, and then obviously we got this guy has the extreme physical lead, and then we can just throw in a bunch of Margin Power characters. So we are still technically running a Margin Power team, but it's just also mono physical because we're fighting an int enemy. I usually find this is the most straightforward way of doing it. Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, it's interesting. So far, they've all been Carnival LRs for the enemies. But yeah, as you can see, like, this is with like a 170 and a 150 lead. It's one of those things, like I say, you could take the time to sit and like plan multiple Battlefield, like multiple teams of categories, but it's definitely easier to go with the full type advantage. We've got Super Saiyan Gohan future. The AGL team is a bit more wonky, but just throw both of you on there. Looking forward to like AGL Rose getting a super easy A. He was one of my favourite characters in the game when he first came out. Okay, let's just do that. Can Ingen beat Battlefield with only type neutral teams? I mean, I would imagine this one you probably could. Well, I suppose it depends how tough like the final bosses are. And I wonder if you could... the real challenge would be trying to beat all the Battlefield fights with type disadvantage team. Which, I mean, you could technically do as long as you've got enough characters that like dodge and have guard and stuff like that. You probably could. For the early stages it wouldn't be as bad, but it's usually always the last boss. But I don't expect the last boss of this one to be as crazy as like the metal cooler that we've been fighting. Well, I mean, the thing is with that metal cooler, like the biggest problem with him is that he can super multiple times and he can just attack so many times in slot 1. Whereas like as soon as you get to attack, he can have like all the status effects put on him. So he's not really that bad. Of course, starting rotations and stuff play a big part. Like you want to have someone that can seal and all that kind of stuff on turn 1. So Zamasu getting supered, yeah, like 10k. It's basically nothing. Yeah, full category teams. Full category teams will be easier because of the higher power. It's just more so, like I say, the fact that you have to put together multiple category teams. Remember who's on what. Like, you don't want to use your, like... Be like, oh, I'm going to use my Super Saiyan team now, and then you accidentally use a character that's meant to be, like, the leader for one of the other teams. That's why I find mono teams is probably the most straightforward way of doing it, because you don't have to remember. This is a Terrifying Conquerors team, technically. Attack Broly. Yeah, the Broly Battlefield, that was interesting, right? The Worldwide Battlefield had the second part too. And it's funny because people complained that it didn't give, like, stones and, like, the... Was it... Did it give Battlefield memories? I can't remember, but it was, like, one fight. But it was that crazy, like, multiple phase Broly fight. I think that was really fun. I think if they just released that maybe as, like, a separate event with, like, a different name, rather than making it the, like, the Battlefield, then people wouldn't have been as disappointed with the like way the rewards were done. But obviously I guess they did it within the confines of like the Battlefield setup, because you have your like limited teams and stuff you can use. I don't know, but I did think that was quite fun. So yeah, I know it didn't have stones. I can't remember whether it actually gave Battlefield memories or not. I'm assuming it did. But yeah, as you can see, we have, for the large part, especially when we've had some of our LRs and stuff like that, for the most part, been one-turning these fights. Future Gohan, I think, is the only one we haven't so far, and that's because, like, as I already said when I was putting it together, the Extreme AGL team was not the best. Maybe I need to redo the Extreme AGL, but it's not like we have tons of options. Okay, this is a pretty cool last setup. We got the Hachiyak, Goku, Family Kamehameha Gohan, and then Sword of Hope Trunks. So for super physical, I always just use a Goku family team. So we've got God Goku and then Gohan as like the super physical leader. We can have Beast. This guy's got his EZA now. Goku for the support. Bardock for the potential seal. Can this guy be sealed? No. Can't be attack reduced, can't be stealed, and can't be stunned. So realistically, I mean, Bardock also gives support, but let's just bring this version of Bardock instead. I could run off-lead Glorio as well. But yeah, unfortunately, as someone who is like a big supporter of the Heroes team, you know, this channel is the home of the Heroes agenda. It is probably very unlikely that Universe Tree Goku will survive the 10th anniversary power creep. I mean, we're probably not going to get to see a turn like 3 at this point, at this rate, right, where the physical Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3 Goku is going to transform. So the last boss I'm assuming is I'm going to assume is Jiren, but he has that like last boss vibes, or it could be Omega, I guess. But yeah, it's more so the fact that, like, I mean, I guess to be fair, after supering, he tanks relatively well. And then, like, on the active skill turn. But like, there are turns, after the first couple of turns, where the defense from his intro buff wears off. Like, there are times, because we've spent so long trying to do Goku and Frieza, where he does even take, like, damage from normals. So I think overall, his longevity is quite low, but we'll see. But at least, yeah, he can be used on other teams. He does suffer from not having like a Xeno character or anything, though, obviously, for his extra buffs and like the early active skill. But yeah, this Kid Goku, Path to Power Kid Goku is obviously outdated now when it comes to difficult content, but for something like Battlefield, he can still be super useful, giving everyone that little bit of extra damage reduction. I always defend Heroes, use Super Saiyan 3 Rose every time I have the chance. Yeah, Super Saiyan 3 Rose I think was underrated when he released. He's definitely aged a bit now, but it's still fun to use. Use everyone's favourite Heroes card, Warrior in Black, to finish off the fight here.
Do you want to taste the power of the ultimate android?
Hey, shout out to Vicha for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. An issue of Heroes is that they revived. Yeah, I would have loved the Fusion Tommaso, the eye patch. I like his Xeno design. That's just the biggest shame about Heroes being done now, is that we don't have all that stuff to look forward to, of like which other characters are going to get in this year and all that kind of stuff. It's a big shame. Super AGL. Super AGL, I just use a Goku family team as well. Especially now, currently, with... I say just a Goku family team, also Super AGL, because Goku's secondary leader skill is Super AGL. But with the fact that the LR Super Saiyan 4s have been buffed for this lead up to the anniversary as well, means that obviously they do some crazy damage. I mean, that's a pretty good setup. People freaking out over Zamasu being a red zone boss with Vegeta. That'd be kind of funny. I don't imagine that they'd give... Well, would they do another Zamasu with AoEs again? Maybe. Because Rose had the restriction of, like, chance to guard unless you had the crossover allies, but you could still get away with that most of the time. And then once he transforms, he just has guard. Yeah, see, big damage from Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Yeah, it was a lot of damage that Kai Goku took in slot 1. Yeah, Gohan can do crits. I did not see the crit because I was looking at the chat. So yeah, Gohan can crit you. Interesting. Well, fortunately, it's not going to matter because we can literally active skill with Gohan, which if that doesn't kill him, then we just have UI Goku in slot 1 who can't get hit. Grab those so we get the orbs for Pycon. So yeah, you gotta be careful with Gohan hitting you in slot 1 with the crit. Asia Bomber didn't dodge and Gohan did a 900k crit. Oof. Because that's the thing, if the enemy crits, even if you're using a type advantage team, still going to take some big damage potentially. So, gotta be careful of that one. Can you look at the fight info after you've already done it? No. Enemies key -3. Can't be sealed, can't be stunned. So that means he can be attack lowered. My Super SDR team is like a cross between Bond of Master and Disciple and Superheroes though, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, so no, I was expecting standalone fusions, so Vegito being another transforming Vegito. I'm not sure how... Wait, is he not attacking in turn 1? Oh god. It's going to be some like crazy build-up thing, isn't it? Yeah, I think it'll be interesting if we get another fusion in part 2. I feel like they will be standalone because we got the transforming one in part 1, but it's a shame that Mai doesn't lower attack. And what will be interesting is seeing, yeah, like the animation and stuff for them like defusing, and then you can just fuse again, like the reversible exchange. So I'm really looking forward to seeing like more details about like what that actually is. Future Gohan post supering should tank this, right? We'll see. Oh, okay, well, he did double-digit damage. I mean, that's the thing, yeah, like, if it was a different character and it wasn't a fusion, and like a new character had a limited like a limited exchange transformation where they became super powerful and then like switched back, but then you could like do it again. If it wasn't a fusion, I think people would be more receptive to it, but obviously we've had some fusion releases that have had some pretty weird like conditions, and obviously now everyone would just prefer like, can we just get the straight up like fusions? So I can see why people would be a bit disappointed, but like imagine if, you know, they fuse into Vegito and he is literally the best unit in the game, even if it's only for like a couple of turns, and then he goes back. As long as the base like Goku or Vegeta, depending on how that works, is still good, then I think it will be fine. That's the thing. I can really see the DB Saga card just being like the free-to-play LR for the anniversary, but because the thing is, if it's summonable, there's only one slot on that little roadmap thing, which I'm going to do a video about probably today. There's only one slot on that little roadmap thing of the cards that are releasing, like new cards and EZAs for Dragon Ball Saga. So the problem is, if they brought out say a Kid Goku as like one of the Carnival LRs for part 2, so he's like a 200% lead to Dragon Ball Saga, that team is still bad because it's only got him as a buff. That team needs like multiple new units for it to be good again. So it kind of almost feels like a waste of one of the Carnival slots if it's like a 200% Dragon Ball Saga leader, because then that team will still be not great. Okay, yeah, so Jiren is the last boss. Can't be stunned, can't be sealed, can't be attack lowered, reduces damage received. So seemingly no other crazy mechanic. Yeah, let's try the Heroes team first. Obviously end it off with our boys. So we'll do you. Might as well bring you, and you. Alright. Yeah, Dragon Ball Seekers 200% would definitely be a lot better, because then it wouldn't be reliant on Dragon Ball Saga. I do want a 4 extreme rotation, so like... that'll do. Yeah, I think him having 2 leader skin, like if it was 200% Dragon Ball Saga and then like 200% Dragon Ball Seekers or something. But yeah, like someone say, even if a Geo is good, right? Like MX, yeah, even if a Geo is good, it's the condition that is going to be the thing. But as it is reversible exchange, like that implies that you're going to be able to switch back and forth. You would assume more than once in an event, which means if that is the case, it would be really dumb for the transformation condition to be really stupid, because then if the chances are you can't even transform once, how are you going to transform multiple times in one event? So if the idea of the design is that you can switch like a couple of times potentially before you've got to the end of a run, then in theory the condition would have to be quite easy. Not a great rotation for Goku, but... well, that's the thing. It wouldn't make sense for it to be once per fight if it was being introduced as a new mechanic called reversible exchange. But I guess we'll see. 56k. Yeah, see, that's Mechikabra only got one rainbow orb, so not a lot of damage reduction, and only did one super, and he still only took 50k. So this Jiren, even as like the final boss of the battlefield, not really doing too much damage, which is good. But yeah, I wouldn't be expecting another Saiyans with no limits situation. Right, well, there we go. This should be the last turn. Because Timebreaker will get hit, get a little bit of an attack buff. It's got Big Bad Bosses active on this turn. Yeah, the exchange between Goku... I guess, yeah, that is the thing they haven't really clarified. If it's like you can switch between Goku and Vegeta and then fuse into Vegito for like a limited time. Oh, Jiren's got 2 phases. I was about to say that was quite easy. You've got no links active, so I don't really want to use your active skill, although you're going to get floated off and be back on, like... By the time you come back, your damage reduction is going to be gone anyway, so... we'll save it, in case he does come back. If he doesn't, we'll have just won anyway, so it doesn't matter. In terms of how many stones you, like, need for the anniversary, it's one of those questions that's kind of impossible to answer. It's like saying... Oof, 382k on Janemba. It's like saying... I mean, I'm trying to think of a good, reasonable example, but it's like... If you think about, like, if you had a 6-sided dice, just a normal dice, and it's like saying, how many times do I need to roll this dice so that the numbers that I've rolled add up to 100? It's like, well, it completely depends, because if you roll a 6 every time, it's not going to take you as many times as if you roll a 1 every time. Because it's just completely random, right? So unfortunately, the problem with summoning is someone can go into a banner with like 300 stones and pull the new unit straight away, and then someone can go into a banner with like 2,000 stones and not pull the unit at all. So when it comes to something like the anniversary, the only real answer to the question of like how many stones do I need, the answer is just as many as you can get, realistically. Alright, so we'll do that. Do that. But yeah, I spent anywhere between like in total like 3,000 and 4,000 stones in the 9th anniversary, and I didn't get the gammas. I only got 3 out of the 4 like units. So it just all depends. But yeah, Jiren could actually do some big damage to Fu here with the super. I think Timebreaker post super should be fine. Again, it depends how many attacks Fu gets off. But yeah, ideally you just want to get as many as you can. If you're going into part 1 with like 2k or more, you should have a fairly decent chance of at least getting like 2 out of the 3. But again, it's all RNG. You could get super unlucky. How much is he taking from this? 6,000, okay. Because he doesn't have as much damage reduction after attacking, but Well, he has it on this turn, it doesn't actually matter. Oh, this Jiren can be stunned as well. So once you get to full power Jiren, he can be stunned. But yeah, that is true. We don't know yet what it will be, but there's the potential that the anniversary has the same pity as the worldwide as well. Where once you've spent 2,500 stones across the banners, you can then just get one of the characters. But yeah, there you go. So that was the anniversary Battlefield. Like I say, not super difficult. I mean, Jiren did hit pretty hard at one point there, but it's one of those things where even if you want to use mono teams for like the earlier stages, you can just make one big like category team ready for the final phase. But yeah, got our clear, get a bunch of rewards, and there we go. So that was the anniversary special Battlefield. Let me know how you guys got on. Let me know what teams you used down below in the comments. But nice and straightforward. It's a good few extra stones ready for the anniversary to start. 9 days to go, so let me know how you guys got on down below in the comments. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.